Hello. I'm going to see if I can get the Facebook live streaming going. Welcome, welcome. If you want to put something in the chat that you're grateful for today, we can start the energy in a space of gratitude as I get the techie things working to stream it to Facebook Live, if the Facebook gods love us today. But if you want to share where you're at in the world, something that you're grateful for, I'd love to see it in the chat. Maybe something big or little, we don't judge here. I'm grateful that I did it earlier today, so then we get Europeans. Facebook's thinking about it. We'll keep sending the good energy. And it looks like it's loving me today, so that's good. Public. Preparing the stream, setting it up on Facebook Live. This might be working. And we're not going to say anything too sexy today, so we can't actually stream it to Facebook. It's when I get a little bit too in the pleasure quadrants that we do non-Facebook Live, because it's too sexy for social media. There, but it looks like we're streaming to Facebook. Yay! So welcome everyone to the How to Heal and Align with High Ticket Sales Masterclass. I'm so thrilled for this masterclass and so excited to jump into all of the things. If you're just joining us now, you can put something in the chat that you're grateful for today. Being in a state of gratitude is always a lovely frequency to be in and can attract what we're desiring to us. So if you want to share that, you can. Awesome. All the techie things are working. I love that. And we also have my lovely VA joining us today so that it can all work really well. And she can support me if anything goes wrong and drop the links and do all the cool things. So Latara is my lovely dream VA.
Yay. Hey, ladies. Excited to be here with you all.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Celebrating being here in bed. Yeah. Love it. In England, in bed with the cold, sending you lots and lots of love, the easeful healing. I'm grateful for replays so I can watch another masterclass later. Well, thank you for choosing my masterclass. I know there was a couple other people who sent me in the reminder emails. They're like, I'm jumping on another one right now, but I'm so excited for the replay. And I'm like, I love that. Replays are super great. I'm so excited that I get to be here with you all today. So we'll begin by grounding us all into some pleasure first. So if you want to close your eyes, take some really deep cleansing breaths. If you desire to, you can have your feet flat on the floor if that's feeling good for your body today. If not, you can meet yourself with wherever your body desires to be at, honoring yourself fully and completely. And then you can put a hand or two on your heart and tuning into your heart's desire for your intention for this masterclass. Breathing into your heart space, connecting with your lovely intention. And also allowing yourself to connect with your heart and soul's desires for your business, for high ticket sales that feel really heart-centered, for your lifestyle, for what you'll get to do with all this overflow. Giving yourself total and complete permission to dream big here, to feel into your biggest heart desires. What kind of time freedom are you desiring? What do you want your ideal calendar to look like? And what do you get to do and have from getting overflow from high ticket sales? When you're financially secure and financially free, even, what do you get to do? Do you get to travel? Do you get to move? Do you get to delegate more, impact more people, create more ticket programs that are at like more affordable or free offerings to support different people at different stages? Do you get to buy more local and organic and support your heart's deepest causes or create new initiatives? Really letting yourself feel into all of what's possible here. And as you're feeling into this, can you breathe even deeper? Can you let yourself receive your heart showing you your truest desires even 1% more? Expanding your heart to be able to receive it, to have the capacity of receiving even 1% more or 10% more, or if you desire 100% more. And you can stay with your hand or hands on your heart. Or if you do want to invite a little bit of pleasure and a little bit of sensation into your body, you can move your hips, you can circle your hips. You can touch your skin in a way that feels pleasurable for you. Do massaging touch, or really light fingertip touches. Beginning to infuse a little bit of pleasure into your body. And tune into your body. What would feel most pleasurable for you to do right now? And follow that beautiful internal guidance system. Mm. 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 And you can keep the pleasure going, or at any point in time, you can come back to being still with your heart center. Mm. And now I invite you to bring in even more gratitude into your body. So feeling into what you were grateful for when we jumped on this call as your starting point, and feeling into another thing you can be grateful for, and another thing, and another thing. Letting the gratitude just really compound here for all the things you currently are grateful for in your life. Breathing into it as it compounds. You can stay with what you're presently grateful for, or if it feels really juicy and good, feeling into the gratitude of the things that are on their way to you right now. Those heart's desires that you were feeling into. Your next soul aligned client, selling your highest ticket package yet, having your highest month and getting to celebrate it, feeling all of the things that you were wanting to do and have and be before, as if you get to celebrate it and feel grateful and so deeply thankful for it now. And you can close that gratitude experience in a way that feels gentle for you, grounding it in your heart, into your body, wherever you're feeling called to ground it all in. All that compounding energy of gratefulness. And then when you're feeling ready, you can open your eyes. Join us back here. If you're watching the replay or if you're live, you can share with me how your body's feeling from that pleasure first practice of grounding in your heart's desires, connecting with them more deeply. How's your body feeling with that? And I do check the replay, so you can totally reply in the Facebook Live comments, or if you're watching it on YouTube, how's your body feeling now? Mine definitely feels like more open and expansive and tingly good. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Relaxed. Grateful, which from an hour ago is incredible. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful, beautiful. And I invite you to be as engaged as you feel called to here. So if you're live watching the replay, you get to meet the universe, meet us in the masterclass at the energy that you're desiring. So if you're like, I'm so fucking excited to sell high ticket sales, feeling so heart-centered, getting to have time freedom and financial freedom, living my best fucking life, better than I thought it was, because the universe can totally do this or even better, and we do even better in my world. Meet it at that energy. How would you show up? How would your body be? You can like have a beautiful state in your body. And if you're totally nourishing your body because your body's like, yep, we're in contraction mode, we're healing, we're doing things, I invite you to be with whatever that is for you here. You don't have to be perfect, just inviting you to be in the most beautiful state that you feel called to, so you can receive what you're desiring from this masterclass. So I'll do a quick agenda of what we'll be doing together during this time. So we're going to release some of the limiting beliefs and old stories that have been holding you back from success in your business and getting those high ticket sales thus far, supporting you in raising your rates and expanding your bandwidth so you can receive even more. How you can optimize your high ticket package to be a win-win for you and your soul aligned clients, and have healthy boundaries that you can serve from your overflow. We're going to do more clearings on any negative past experiences that you've had with sales calls or launching or calls to action, the stuff you've previously done in your business that hasn't gotten you the result that you want, so that we can clear, release, and let go of any belief systems that are like, well, this is my life, this is the lens, so that your negative experiences in the past don't continue to be self-fulfilling prophecies and create more negative experiences in your future. We can kind of wipe the slate clean so you get new experiences, which is so fun. We're also going to get into energetics of being your fully lit up and abundant self so you can have a pleasurable life of the desired time and financial freedom that your heart and soul is calling you towards, and how you can co-create union with your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies so that you can be in harmony with them, with yourself, and use inspired action steps that are unique for you to co-create the results that you want and compound wins on top of each other. So that's what we'll be getting into today. I love that. Yeah, feeling like a caterpillar. I totally do that too, especially when I'm like on my moon and I had a cold after the last masterclass. I'm like, yep, cocooning now. We're totally cocooning. And then you get upgrades from that, which is really fun, that when you go inward and you trust your body's contraction, you can take advantage of it, heal, restore, replenish, and then come out even better. I love that. I'm excited for your next beautiful butterfly stage. And if you're new to me, I am Laura McPhee. I'm a speaker, healer, and coach, and I absolutely love helping heart-centered entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers to live their dream life, to get the impact and income that their heart and soul is here for, and to be able to live the lifestyle that you love with the time freedom that you want, with the type of calendar that you want, with the financial freedom that matches that, so you can truly be serving from your overflow. Because I feel like that's the biggest, most impactful thing that we can do in the world, is show up and be way showers of serving from our overflow, taking care of ourselves, serving others from that space, and being in full alignment with our heart and our soul. Oh, and you're so welcome. So I have many different hats. I'm a theta healer, so we're going to do a lot of subconscious belief system clearing here. If you're unfamiliar with theta, it's literally your theta brainwave, which is where your unconscious belief systems live. So we're going to go into a theta brainwave state to clear out the old and align you with what is most supportive for you, what your heart and soul is actually here for. So I'm going to use higher power during these downloads, and you can in your head substitute that with God, creator, source energy, the universe, Mother Earth, whatever verbiage you want and resonates best with you. But I find that higher power is pretty neutral for everyone. It's a good word that can kind of fill in a lot of different ranges. I'm also a master Reiki practitioner, so I'm really great at tuning into any and all body blocks that are getting in your way from this. So it feels like already tuning into the energy, and I am tuning into the energy of everyone who's live and on the replay, which is really fun. So I'm already tuning into it. I'm like, yeah, we're probably going to do some body block clearings to release and let go of what's not serving you in your body. I'm also a Tony Robbins Master University graduate. So I have like the masculine energy, the conscious pieces with the feminine pieces. I'm also an erotic blueprint coach and a lead coach intern, and very much in the pleasure-based world. So I love that I get to bring all of the worlds together with the masculine and the feminine, the conscious and the subconscious, so you get a holistic range of support for clearing out what's not serving you and aligning you to the success that you're desiring. Because I do find that some people in my world come to me and they've been very much in one world where they're like, I've been in my masculine energy, hustling, trying really hard, going full out, doing, and it's not working. I'm doing what my coach said, I'm doing what I learned in this program, I'm doing, and they don't have all these other pieces. But when we start to align these other pieces and put it in their place, then they have a smooth path. Then they're like actually getting the results that they want. So I love that I have that range. I'm an empath, so I'm really great at like feeling into exactly what's going on for everyone in the group and tuning into like specific ones, because we're going to do a little bit of Q&A at the very end. If you guys are feeling called to ask questions, you can ask them in the chat. I can also tune into the Facebook live chat later as well. If you're like, I'm not on the Zoom. If you're on Facebook Live and you need to get into the Zoom room, apply really quickly. Well, I guess not apply. Go to the Facebook cover, and in the Facebook cover, you can get into the masterclass, and then you can join the Zoom room, because we'll be doing in about 40-ish minutes some live Q&A. So if you want to get your question answered, definitely do that. Or think about it right now, and I'll tune in and support you when we get into some open hot seat questions. What else? I love that I have like my notes that always ground me back to structure. And that's the thing. I love structure and feminine flow and going with the flow of like whatever is up in the room and stuff like that. So I really love that I'm in both worlds. I'm also a reflector in human design. So all of my centers are open. It's the 1% of the human design that has all of their centers open. So I'm literally incarnated on this earth to be a mirror. So I get to like easily see like, oh, that thing that like no one else has been able to be like, where's your blind spot here? Or where's that block? I'm like, oh yeah, that like bright neon sign that's like flashing like right there. I'm great at picking out those blocks. And I'm an awesome amplifier. So I'm able to amplify whatever you're desiring to come into your world more easily, or amplify you as a beautiful light worker in the world to have more impact that you're desiring. So I love that I have that gift as well. And then I have like accelerated evolution training. I used to be an accountant. I went through business school. So I have all of the like money pieces too, which sometimes heart-centered entrepreneurs necessarily don't love the money, accounting, bookkeeping, tracking, all the pieces of that. So I do have that as well. For a couple of years after getting out of that world, I super rejected it. And I'm like, okay, actually it really, really supports my people. And I'm actually really deeply here to support people in clearing their money blocks, clearing their blocks to abundance, so you can be even more aligned with who you are in the world and the income that you're meant to have supporting you for all of your beautiful superpowers and beautiful gifts that you're sharing with us. Okay, so let's jump into some clearings. So if you already know, oh my gosh, I have this belief system, I muscle tested it, or I think that this thing has been holding me back, or I'm not quite sure about it, you can totally pop it in and we'll clear out the limiting belief systems that have been holding you back. But just to like jump into it, because I'm already feeling some, do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all old thought systems, beliefs, excuses, and old identities that have held you back from selling high ticket, from feeling that you're worthy or deserving of it? You can clear, release, and let go of any and all illusions or old lenses that had you separate from it and had you not seeing ideal client candidates as possible people that you could enroll in your world, that you can see even more clearly through your higher powers, truth, wisdom, perspective, knowledge, and understanding what it looks like and feels like to stand in your power, to express your soul's truth, and to invite in your soul aligned clients at these higher ticket packages. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all old baggage that you've had with money, with your business finances, with doing accounting, with any and all stress or confusion around taxes, or looking at your balance sheet or income statement, and trying to understand profit and loss, in any and all confusion that you had around sales or tracking your cash flow, that we can clear, release, and let go of any and all old junk and negative energy that's been attached to that. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to forgive yourself completely on all levels for any and all times that you've been avoidant with your money, or with tracking your sales, or with offering more calls to action to the world, or launching something or putting something new into the world, that you can forgive yourself for any and all old unconscious programming that was going on that made you not show up as much as you had wanted or how you had ideally desired you to. You can forgive yourself on all levels for that, and for anything else that you carry any shame or guilt or embarrassment or judge yourself about. And if you'd like to clear those, you can say yes. And there's like a little bit of a conscious piece coming through of like, we get to forgive ourselves for not knowing what we didn't know back then. Like sometimes our present version self is a little bit hard, or we have that inner critic voice that's beating ourselves up around like, oh, well, now you know how to do this, and back then you were doing that. And there's this like disconnect and heavy weight of like beating yourself up unconsciously. So if that's been going on, you can just like totally forgive all past parts of you that have done something that current version you wouldn't necessarily do, or current version of you is like, embarrassed by. So just like being really loving to yourself on that. And would you like your higher powers, truth, wisdom, perspective, knowledge, and understanding around what lessons you were learning back then and at those different iterations of yourself, so that you can have deeper compassion and understanding for the lessons you were learning, for who you were becoming, and that you can allow yourself to mark any and all other lessons as complete now that are ready to be marked as complete. And for any and all lessons around money, finances, taxes, bookkeeping, sales, tracking cash flow that you still have yet to learn or upgrade or like develop deeper understanding in, that you can choose to learn these lessons with even more ease, speed, grace, joy, and love. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay. And there's some like money ceiling energy coming up. So if you can feel into the highest amount that you feel comfortable selling right now. So if you're selling hourly and you want to move to packages, or if you have a package that you know that you want to increase the price of, just tuning into what that number is right now. You can write it down if you're taking notes, put in the chat if you're feeling really brave. And like feeling into it, if you're like, oh, there's a range. So like some people, there's a range where it's like, oh, if I like super overgave, then I could sell this, but right now I'm only selling this. Or I feel super good about saying this number, and like when I say this number on sales calls, I'm so fucking shaky. Like totally tune into like what those different ranges and different numbers are for you. We're going to do some healings on the different vibes that we're getting here. Okay, so once you're clear on that, do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to your higher power to even more deeply understand where this shakiness has come from, where these out of alignment feelings or fears or nervous energy or self-doubt is coming from, so you can have an even more easeful experience in moving through to the next stage that you're desiring, that we can mark these lessons as complete, that are ready to be marked as complete, and that you can see from your higher powers truth, wisdom, knowledge, perspective, and understanding that it's time, safe, and that you're able to increase your rates, whether that's hourly for a group program, for a private package, for various tiers in private packages or tiers of offerings that you have, that you can allow yourself to easily expand them, that you can feel into where your heart and soul is actually ready for you to be selling right now. And that you can see any and all gaps that were showing up between your original numbers and these more clear soul aligned numbers, that you can understand where those differentiators are, what was creating some of these gaps or these challenges, and that you can have an instant healing from your higher power on them, so that those can be released, so you can clear out the old baggage. And let's cut any and all cords, contracts, vows, commitments, bonds, oaths, or obligations that were holding you to staying small, staying within your like old norm or your quote like old comfort zone, or staying within what was like the norm of the people that are in your inner circle or in some of the circles close to you, that you can have an instant healing all that and clear out all that old junk on all levels, and we can resolve it on a history level. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Yeah. So in a conscious piece that's coming in for the money is that in our caveman brain, we want to fit in. So thousands and thousands of years ago, if you were too different from the tribe, and yes, they would be like tribe back then, we're like not using tribe anymore. If you were different than the community, you could be outcast. And if you were outcast, that meant certain death, because you as one single human wouldn't be able to go get the food every day, prepare for winter, have a shelter, protect from other people or animals. Like it meant certain death if you were different and you got banished. So we have in our caveman brain, deep in our subconscious, a part that tries to protect ourselves to not go too different than the people that we've surrounded ourselves with. So what we can do in this day and age is be surrounded by other people who have like-minded goals, who are like-hearted with their soul's mission, and that you can surround yourself with more and more and more of those people so that it feels safe for your old caveman brain and your nervous system to be your fully expressed self, to be in full alignment with the level that you desire to be playing at in your business and the level that you desire to be playing at in service to your clients for whatever ticket price that you're at right now, or growing into after that, and evolving from there. So you get to consciously be aware of that and be like, okay, hi part, that's like my caveman part trying to like keep me safe. I see you, and you can take care of that part, and we're totally going to do like body clearing because that's coming through. I'm making a note so we can do all the things. So that conscious piece, that conscious awareness, you can choose to be like, okay, and I can choose what I'm going to share with who I'm going to share within my world. Like, you don't necessarily have to tell your parents what you're charging people. You can, I know that that sometimes is a piece for some of my clients where I'm like, you know, that you can put people on restricted lists so that if you are going to put out a big ticket offering, or you are going to share more and more about your business, you can put certain people on a restricted list and be like, post everyone except the restricted list, so they can still see whatever photos you're posting or cool stuff that you're doing, and get to spend more time being fully self-expressed, and then also spend more time being in rooms and communities of people who are playing full out, who are here to sell heart-centered ways to higher and higher ticket people, because that's where your soul aligned clients are energetic matches to right now. So there's that piece, and you can consciously do that by like joining more Facebook groups. You can join a program. At the end, I'm going to share about a program I'm doing that I'm super excited about, that I create like really incredible communities who enter my world. So there's so many ways that you can do that for free, or by investing in yourself, or by going to networking events or in-person things. Like, there's so many ways you can connect with more and more people that you desire to have in your inner circle. The other piece around that is there's the energetic of like crabs. So if you put crabs in a bucket, if one crab tries to escape, the other crabs will literally like rip their legs off and like destroy them for trying to get out to a better place. So do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all junk, negative energy, fear, and like past life trauma around being in that energetic of being held back, of trying to do something more and getting attacked, abused, shamed, judged, or having a harsher negative consequence for trying to better yourself, or increasing our rates, or doing something that was for you uniquely that the rest of the people that you had surrounded yourself with, that we can clear, release, and let go of any and all like crabby energetics in your field and in all lifetimes that you've ever had. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, that piece is feeling better. So let's do a body clearing, and then we'll tune back into what your soul aligned numbers are for your higher ticket packages. So if you want to do a quick scan of your body, starting at the top of your head, moving down, noticing where there's any like iffy energy, sticky energy, contraction, or any like actual pain or like ooh in your body around raising your rates right now. And just breathing as you notice where they live. There might be one big one, there could be several, just tuning in to wherever you're at in this present moment. And then tune into the one that feels the most powerful. So it might feel the most painful in your body, might be the like first one that popped up, whatever feels like the strongest energy that's been holding you back. We're going to tune into that one first. And just noticing where that lives and how much space it's taking up in your body right now. Noticing what color it is. tuning into the emotion that's attached to it. Feeling into the body sensation that's there. And then if you could touch this old energy, what's the temperature of it? Or what's the texture of it? And then we're going to safely move that old energy outside of your body and filling up that space through your higher power where it used to live with unconditional love and healing energy. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Know that that energy is safely outside of your body without any connections to you. We're going to ask it a question and simply allow the first thought, the first feeling to come through when we ask it. What were you trying to teach me? I'm just letting that land. And do you want to know what it looks like and feels like through your higher power to learn this lesson with even more ease, speed, grace, joy, and love? To mark this and any and all similar frequency lessons that are ready to be marked as complete now, and show you through your higher powers truth, wisdom, perspective, knowledge, and understanding what your life will look like and feel like having integrated and embodied bliss lesson in, that you can feel into it in your business, in your personal life, in your relationships to others, the people in your inner and outer circles, how you'll interact with your environment. That you can feel into this on all levels, knowing that you're worthy and deserving of increasing your rates. And that you can also expand your bandwidth of receiving even more with ease. That you can utilize pleasure in this process of expansion and holding more. That you can release and let go of old layers of your comfort zone that no longer serve you as you expand into new ones. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And there's kind of like a conscious piece coming through. I'm also claircognizant. And it's like, if you're playing with shells, if you were like a snail or any type of like marine life that you're resonating with in this moment, that gets rid of their shell and lives in a big one, or grows their shell with them. Like, think of how heavy it would be and how hard it would be to like drag along all iterations of old shells. That would be very inefficient. And I've never ever heard of any kind of shelled creature that keeps it all with it. Or like if you're a snake and shedding your skin, like they don't like keep them and hold on to them forever and drag them around as they try to live their day-to-day life. That would be very inefficient and not healthy. So there's some energetics there of like, well, I need to like keep this just in case and keep this just in case and keep this just in case. But it's really just like holding you back, weighing you down. And there's also a thing around like backup plans here of like, I have this backup plan and this backup plan and this backup plan and this backup plan and this backup plan, and spending so much of your time and energy and like focused on just like looking at your backup plans, making sure you have like all your old comfort zones and all the old like safety blankets and all the fucking plans of plans on plans of plans, instead of just like trusting yourself that like, I can live here now. I can be in this comfort zone. I can hold this. I can integrate this. I can embody this new level of me as I grow into the next one. I can live in this new shell and I don't need to drag around all the old ones. I can plan that this is going to work. I can grant into the truth that this is what my heart and soul is here for, and I can be in full alignment with that. And it's still good and like logical to have like money in the bank and have forecasted income and have like a backup plan or two or safety nets or two that are supportive of you. It's just like there's this energetic of essentially like thousands of backup plans and spending so much time on it and like thinking about them and having that in the back of your head and that in the back of your head. And it's just energetically draining. So if that resonates with you at all, do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all energetic drains that you've had by holding on to old past identities, plans, shells, so to speak, safety nets, so to speak, that you can release and let go of the unnecessary backup plans that simply drain your energy, and that you can release and let go of all of this heaviness, weight, pressure, and responsibility now. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, and then we can get your higher power to transmute that old energy into unconditional love, sending it out into the ether and filling you up with unconditional love, compassion, and healing energy. And if you'd like that, you can say yes and just take some really deep breaths, allowing that to integrate in. And then you can tune back into that space in your body. Check into how that's feeling for you now. And I'd love to hear in the comments how that's feeling for you. It's feeling lighter, open, better. If you're like, oh yeah, that layer is feeling better, but now I'm aware of this one. Or like, ooh, this space is so much better, but now like over here in my body is totally activated. And like this part totally wants to get cleared next. And if you're on the replay, you can also share, and I'll tune into the comments either on the Facebook Live or YouTube. And even like shake your body out a little bit. Like if you're like, oh yeah, I was like letting go of some old layers there. More space. Let go of some of those shells. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, so we kind of had like flowed from the clearings into like raising your rates and expanding. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to expand into these heart and soul aligned rates that you can see even more clearly? Any and all baby steps and stair steps that will get you from where your pricing and packages have been to where your heart and soul is desiring you for them to be, and that you can allow yourself to align with this even more quickly and easily than you would have before. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, so then do you want to tune in to your comfort zone, so to speak, of where your rates are now? You're like, oh yeah, I was here before and actually this feels way better. Tuning into that. You'd had 6,000 pop in the chat before. So is that your current bandwidth? Was that your new one? Any other energy we want to clear on that? New one. Okay. Does that feel better for you now? Celebrating you for that. How about everyone else? How's it feeling for you now? Better? Put it in the chat. You can. Okay, cool. And also if there's any like sticky bits, totally remember it. And I'll do some like hot seat clearings towards the end, and you can pop it in the chat if you want more clearing, or we can have you unmute and go live with us if that feels good. I'm making food and watching. Yeah, totally. I totally hear you. I've done that before too. Thank you for being here with us. My heart was so happy when I saw your name pop in. Feels obvious. I love that. Celebrating you for that. Yay. Okay. So let's move into optimizing your high ticket packages to be a win-win for you and your soul aligned clients with healthy boundaries that creates overflow. So I went a little bit more into this in the how to aligned to selling over 10K packages. I did that back in February 22nd. And there's still access to that replay if you want to go a little deeper there, because I'm also tuning into our time and want to still hold time for the hot seats at the end. So when I tune into the energy here, it feels like healings will be most supportive. So if you have any specific questions, you can put them in the chat, but I'm just going to clue into what is just coming up for me. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to co-create the most amazing packages for you, your lifestyle, your energy, for your unique expression in the world, and for the soul-aligned clients who are an energetic match to you at that level of service, at your unique superpowers and soul's expression in the world, and that you can even more deeply trust your soul's capacity to hold them at whatever ticket price you invite them in at, and that you can have deeper trust and surrender in choosing your most ideal clients, that you can allow yourself to raise your standards around who your clients have been in the past and who they are at this next chapter of your journey, and that you can continue to allow that to open and expand more as you grow and evolve in your business. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. So at like a very high level for this, what I do when I switched from like hourly packages, and I did way back in 2017, $30 an hour, $70 an hour, $85 an hour, like it was like slow baby steps. And then it was like 111. And then I'm like, cool, selling $1,000 package, 2,222 package, 8,888, like went up like that. It was like 10K, 1,111, like, or not, yeah, 11,111, like so many numbers. When I was playing with those, it was stair steps. So you can stair step it in whatever way feels good for you, and it can meet your unique supply and demand, because there's only one of you in this world. And there's so many humans who desire to be served by you, who desire the transformations and the unique gifts that only you have to share with them. So in the supply and demand thing, you can allow yourself to be like, yep, I'm at this rate and I'm energetically matched to people who are ready, willing, and able to invest at this level. And you can offer the exact same thing when you stair step it up and you stair step it up. And the people who are in my world tend to have so much experience, years and years of certifications, pages and pages of like all the things that they've done to help their clients. And that's who I'm speaking to. I'm not necessarily speaking to someone who's like just become a light worker 2 days ago, has basically no training, and like read a personal development book. Like those people don't show up in my world. So for you being someone who's devoted so much of your time for your transformations and to co-create transformations with your clients, you get to stand in your power around that and choose, okay, where am I actually in alignment with? In my business right now, and the lifestyle I desire to be living, and the number of humans, because there's billions of humans on this planet, who do I desire to serve and at what level? So for me, I switched from those one-off sessions into packages, and that could be where you're at right now, where you're like, cool, I just want to do like a 5-session pack for $1,000. That could be your first $1,000 sale. That's awesome. Or you could be at the space where you're like, I've sold 1,000, I've sold at 2,000, I want to go to the next level. You could be like, okay, is doing 4 calls a month too much for you right now? Like tuning into like what you actually feel called to do with your clients. So I've over the years gone from twice a month, like 2 1-hour calls a month, or I do like super VIP with 3 1-hour calls a month, or you can switch into 45-minute calls or 30-minute calls, or a mix of like 1 1-hour call of a month and 1 30-minute call of a month. There's so many different ways that you can tune into that so that you get to own your time freedom. So your busy calendar gets to go away as you sell higher and higher ticket, and that you don't burn out, because we do not need light workers who are burnt out in this world. They don't get to serve from their overflow. They're not at their like fullest capacity to be and share their gifts in the world. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to let go of any and all self-sacrificing pieces that in the past had you overgiving, that in the past had you co-creating with maybe non-ideal clients, packages that burnt you out, that had you stressed out, that had you in any way, shape, or form overgiving in a way that was detracting from your health or your well-being, or detracting from time that you would have rather spent on yourself, with your family, or towards other goals, and that you can clear, release, and let go of any and all junk, negative energy that you have around that. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like through your higher power to create win-win experiences from now on with you and your soul aligned clients, so that you can serve them at the level that they're an energetic match to be served at, so that they can feel so happy and grateful to be in your unique container with them, and that they feel truly that you're in service from overflow with them, and that they can celebrate their successes from this unique container. Would you like that? Okay, and a boundaries piece around this is coming through. So what I've unfortunately seen a lot of coaches do is be very people pleaser, and their unlimited access to me through Voxer or WhatsApp support, or you can email me as much as you want, or you can text me, or you can call me, like, oh my God. And it like drains them. And then they're in a little bit more of a resentful energy of their clients. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to clean that up within you, to forgive yourself and anyone else who is an actor on your stage around that, so you can really deeply align with the humans who will respect your boundaries, who will celebrate your boundaries, who will actually be inspired by your boundaries and choose to work with you because of the level of boundaries and standards that you operate at in the world. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, that's feeling much better. So to like give you a seed, you can totally sell the same structure of a package if it's like 2 1-hour calls a month and some WhatsApp support that you tune in a couple times a week, or if you want to be someone who's like within 48 hours, I'll get back to you, whatever. You can sell that to your amazing ideal client at a 2K price, at a 12K price, at a 20K price, at a 30K price. You can have that structure and choose to be like, okay, I get to give them the best tools, the best of me, the most amazing container where I'm at my fullest self. You like have your full cup, that you holding space for them with all of your superpowers and gifts and all of the tools and transformations that you're capable of giving. It can literally be that exact same thing. And you can add on special features. If you're like, actually, at the 12K price, I'd love to do a VIP day, or I'd love to do a 2-hour virtual deep dive, or I'd love to do a virtual VIP day, or I'd love to do a weekend immersion. Like, you get to add in those pieces. And you can also be like, ooh, it feels really good to use some of the digital libraries that I have of pre-recorded stuff to give to them as well. Like, you can co-create whatever feels best for you in your packages. And when I was doing some of the market research for this piece, some people were like, oh, I don't want to raise my price yet because I don't have years of digital access. You don't need to do that. So like anyone who has that as a limiting belief system, do you want to clear, release, and let go that you need to do more or have more or even be more before you raise your rates? That you can clear, release, and let go of any and all subconscious programming that you're not good enough or not good enough yet to serve your ideal clients. And that you can instead see through your higher powers, truth, wisdom, perspective, knowledge, and understanding that you are the unique energetic match to your ideal clients at the rates that your heart is guiding you to sell at today, without having any more fill in the blank things done, that you can choose to show up and serve them and shine your light to show them that you're ready. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And then another piece that's coming through for that is like, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Also, when the teacher's ready, the students appear. So when you choose to be at this level, your people will totally show up. And I've had this with my mentors, with myself, where I'm like, oh yeah, when I raise my rates, my people come. And I'm like, literally, like you were just like in my audience waiting for me to like be at the level. And now that I'm at a level that I invest tens of thousands of dollars in the things that I work with my people for, I'm totally like, yeah, I'm not going to be in another container that's like $50 a session, because then sometimes limiting belief systems around money come in, and then I'm like, is that like healer going to be able to hold me on my worst day, being like, how am I going to like be the big way shower who heals all the things and the visionary leader and does all the stuff? Like, I don't want their limiting belief systems to be like, yeah, like that's crazy. Like, I can't even believe that you're selling what you're selling right now. Like, fuck, like it's probably not going to work out. Actually, like, I'm not going to put myself in containers like that. And earlier on in my experience, I was in some containers, and it felt really shitty to be like, I just grew with this other practitioner to be at this level. I remember so clearly, like I had grown my ability to like hold and receive a $250 client for the first time ever. And I went from like 111 to 250 or something. And a couple days later, I went on a call and we celebrated like what we were celebrating. And I'm like, I'm muscle testing that I can sell at 250 an hour. And someone else was like, no one will ever pay that rate. I just like need to let you know and like give you your like harsh reality check that like literally no one in Moncton will ever pay that rate. And I'm like, okay. And that sucked so deeply to be in a container that had that, and that I was held in that container that like I was trying to grow. And then they're like, actually, no, that's never going to work. And like a year later, I had a client who was investing over $1,000 in the Moncton area. So I was like, see, proved you wrong. My like little hurt heart was like, can't believe I was in such a like container for me. So that was just like coming through as an example of like, sometimes your people want to see what level of awareness you are at with your abundance. So sometimes they'll hold back a little bit of like, are you ready to hold me? Will you have limiting belief systems around this come up? So just to like ground that in, sometimes you choosing to step into your most abundant self actually serves your clients more deeply, actually allows your clients to be like, finally, I'll have someone who can hold me. And I remember like at so many different steps along my journey, it's felt like such a relief to find practitioners who are in an abundant identity, who aren't going to have any and all little niggly bits or like offhand comments to make about me and my journey, because they've chosen to be their more abundant selves. So just to ground that in consciously, that you choosing to have higher rates can be so welcoming to your clients and can feel so good to them. Even if you're just like, hey, this is my like highest tier package, then it's like, ooh, I know I'm a fit for this, even though maybe 90% of your people are in these tier. Even if you offer this, sometimes your people will be like, fuck yes, this package. So creating it from that space of like, this will be of service to my clients to hold them in. Okay. So let's move into the space of clearing any and all negative experiences that you've had with sales calls in the past, with rejection, of hearing no's, of within yourself, like just like wanting to say a higher number and not actually doing it, of quote failed launches or not getting the results that you would expected out of those launches, or having a call to action on Facebook or putting it out to the world or out to someone individually and it not being well received, or people like being like crickets around it. So let's clear out all that old past junk so that it doesn't become your self-fulfilling prophecy for the future, because your past does not equal the future. And you can ground that in yourself right now, because I'm sure that there's things that you've done in the past that after all of your healing work, you would never do that ever again. I'm sure that there's people that you've dated in the past that you've done all this healing work and you never date someone like that ever again. So you can totally be like, oh, actually the past doesn't equal the future. Totally separate things here. Same for dating, same for other types of habits that you've broken, same for your business. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to clear, release, and let go of all of this old junk and negative energy from all of those different areas that I was speaking to, and any other area of your business that you had your hopes up or your expectations up on, and it didn't happen the way that you wanted or as fast as you had wanted, or it hasn't happened yet for you, that we can clear, release, and let go of all of that old junk and negative energy now. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And even like shake some of that off. And you want to see through your higher power what you were trying to learn at that stage and phase of your life, that you can mark these lessons as complete if they're still outstanding, and that you can also choose to learn your lessons through even more ease, speed, grace, joy, love, support, and pleasure as you move forward on your journey. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. You want to clear, release, and let go of any and all pain, suffering, strife, or negative experiences, or harsh conditions, or consequences that you feel like you suffered from, or had to go through or experience from, fill in the blank, the negative experiences that were happening in your past, around your business, and that you can see even more clearly where you can grow and improve and expand on these areas now. If there is a conscious grounded skill or tool that you can implement, that you can be guided through your divine inspired action steps to those next steps along your journey, and that you know who you are and what your life looks like and feels like, releasing and letting go of any and all programming where the past equals the future, where your past is a self-fulfilling prophecy of your future results, where last March income is going to be this March income, that you can clearly release and let go of any and all weird connections or ties to those in your brain and in your unconscious belief system. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay. And if you have anything specific that you're like, fuck, this thing happened, you can totally put it in the comments and we can do more clearing on it. But for the most part, that's feeling a little bit more open. Do you want to know what it looks like and feels like through your higher power to plant the seeds of possibility within you? That it's possible for you to sell your highest ticket package, that it's possible for that soul to already be in your audience, that it's possible and that it's safe and that you're able to hold them, to co-create amazing transformations with them, and that you can hold them during their highs and lows in the container. And if you like that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all fears or doubts that you won't be able to hold them, you won't be able to help them get those transformations, and to clear, release, and let go of any and all fears that they're going to ask for a refund, that they'll be an unsatisfied client, and that you'd have to have a consequence, like pay them back or go into litigation or in a contract, or like have a negative experience around having a higher ticket client. And if you'd like to clear all that, you can say yes. Send a conscious piece around this is like really feeling into what you would need to do to hold that. So I really like the frame. What do I need to hold this? I got that from Julia Wells. She's really great at mindset. So feeling into, okay, if I had my highest ticket client, if I had a 10K client or 20K client or whatever level that you're playing with as your next level, if I had them for 3, 6, 1 year containers, and they actually didn't get their results, or they actually became angry, or fill in the blank, bad thing happened, what would you need to hold that? Would you need a really strong contract at the beginning that's like, hey, this is the scope of our work. If you show up to the live calls and you do your homework, it's likely that you'll get these results, but no results are guaranteed. Like, what do you need to ground that and hold that for you? And then also, if it's your first time holding a 6-month container, a year-long container, or a container at those levels, and you're like, I'm quite sure I could get this result, pretty sure, but not 100% like super confident in it yet, would you be willing to add in more sessions? Would you be willing to do like a year and a month container to like get them to the end of that? Because I've totally had clients that like right at the end, like they literally have a belief system within themselves that right in the nick of time, I get my things. And I also create belief systems and like help align their subconscious to being like, I get my return on investment during the program. So I have certain clients that like by the end of our 6 weeks together or 3 months or 6 months, whatever, they literally get their full return on investment during their container, but they're like their last minute person. That's who they want to be in the world. So for you feeling into that energy, would you be willing to add in some extra sessions? Would you be willing to bonus in some stuff to support them in getting their fullest and best experience, and not in a, oh my God, I'm so terrified, negative energy, scarcity, fearful come from place, but from like an empowered, okay, if I'm choosing to offer this at this level for the first time, what would I need to know that I could do to hold this? Does that make sense to everyone? That you can be like, okay, yeah, from a good come from place where I'm grounded and stable and like a conscious business owner, I can be like, oh yeah, like if they start to change direction and actually want to focus more here, like, do you have the confidence in your own voice as being like a fierce coach or like a fiercer version of yourself to be like, hey, if we start to focus on your personal life, you might not hit this business goal. Are you okay with that? And you can check in with them. And more often than not, people are like, yeah, let's follow this energy because the universe is here. I'm totally cool. If like this doesn't happen, I really want this result now. That you can also co-create with those changes and flows. That you can have the structure that supports you and have the freedom to be flexible with especially like private one-on-ones. You can be very intuitively guided to whatever is coming up for them. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like through your higher power to ground all that, to ground in what you would uniquely need in order to hold a larger container in terms of time or in terms of financial energy exchange? And if you'd like that, you can say yes. That's feeling much more clear. So our next piece is being your fully lit up, abundant self with a pleasurable life of your desired time and financial freedom. So we're going to do a little bit of tuning into your heart's desires again. So if you want to breathe, put a hand or your hands over your heart center. And tuning into, first and foremost, your desired financial freedom. In your heart of hearts, tuning into your soul's desire. What's financial freedom for you? What amount of money is coming in as cash flow? Either on a monthly or quarterly or yearly basis, whatever feels best for you to tune into right now. Allowing yourself to breathe with that number, with this awareness. And also tuning into what's your bank account look like. And this could be a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, choosing to be in full alignment with heart-centered, high-ticket sales. How much are in your savings, your investments? What do you give to charity? And with this financial freedom in your world, how often are you working? And you can tune into how many days a week, how many weeks in a month, You could also tune into how many vacation weeks or months do you get in a year. Tuning into what your unique time freedom will be. And tuning into a little bit more of the nitty-gritty details. How many hours of clients do you desire to be seeing? And how many total hours do you want to be working in your business on a weekly or a monthly basis? And you want to know what it looks like and feels like through your higher power to be this version of yourself, to align your identity, to be at the fullest self-expression of living this desired time and financial freedom, that you can be your abundant and wealthy self with your ideal lifestyle, and that you have permission for it to be infused with pleasure and fun, enjoyment, delight, the time with yourself that you desire, with your family and friends, partner, that you can feel into this and that you can allow the most aligned action steps to get to this place in your life to come through for you through your higher power, and that you can also trust even more deeply and surrender to the divine timing and the divine order of your life. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. I thought I was guided to go in that direction. I'm like, we were going to do a whole other thing before I got on this call, but I like that. From this space of tuning into what your desired time and financial freedom are, do you have any like sticky bits where you're like, oh, it's going to take forever? How will that happen? Sometimes the how comes up for people, so I might do some clearings on how, but if you have anything specific you want to get cleared in the chat, totally let me know. Okay, I'm going to clear the how. But if you have anything else that you're like, oh yeah, I would totally need this too, we can do some clearings and healings to support you. So do you want to know that you can release and let go of needing to know the entire how before the journey starts? That you can ground into one baby step at a time or several baby steps at a time. That you can bring those into your awareness to work with and work on, and that you can allow them to continue to illuminate the way as you move forward. If you'd like that, you can say yes. And two different metaphors are coming up around the how. So the one that I typically use, if you're driving from the East Coast to the West Coast, you would not want your GPS to just like spit out all the information in the next hour and be like, there's not going to be another road sign. We're not going to tell you when to turn. We're not going to tell you how fast to be driving or what speed you should be going around this turn or this ramp at. Like, that would be really terrible. And your journey would be really, really not fun. But what is supportive is that our GPS and that our internal guidance system tell us, hey, take the next right. Hey, go to this coffee shop randomly. Hey, sign up for this thing. Hey, join this live masterclass. Hey, step by step by step. And that's so much more loving and supportive and gentle than like, hey, we're going to tell you the rest of the things that you need to know for the next decade of your life or more, and freak you out about all the things you're going to be doing here at this level version of yourself 5 years from now that like this level of you will never fucking sign up for ever, and like contract you real hard. Like, that would not be great. The other thing that's coming through that a lot of us can resonate with, especially because we had like a storm last night, You don't need to see the entire journey home when you're driving from one place to another. If it's raining out or snowstorming or whatever kind of precipitation you're getting wherever you live, you don't need to see the entire path. Or if it's just dark where you're at, if it's like, okay, I live in California, you can just see where your car lights go in front of you. You don't need to see miles and miles and miles and miles and miles ahead of you immediately. That actually would be way too much for your human's nervous system to like understand and like frame all at once. What's important is that you see the next area that you're actually driving into, and the next area and the next area, and you have that visible, that you have that accessible to you. And that kind of moves us into our last piece, where we can co-create union with your divine masculine and feminine energies and use inspired action that results in your wins. So I love that all of these are flowing into each other. Very lovely. And they overlap, which is really beautiful. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to trust your divine inspired action steps? That you can let go of needing to know all of the how now, and that you can instead focus on the next inspired best steps for you that are in front of you, that your internal guidance system is guiding you towards, that you can trust those, that you can act on them, and that you can clear, release, and let go of any and all fearful thoughts, procrastination, energy, or comparison that you have where there's shiny objects over here, or that's not what this mentor did, or that's not the ABC cookie cutter program that you were told that you had to do, that we can clear out any and all junk that's been holding you back from that and show you that it's time, safe, and that you're fully able to trust your unique, divine, inspired action steps along your journey, and that you can compound these baby wins on top of each other, that you can compound big wins on top of each other, that you can allow these wins and these celebrations of the process of the journey to enliven your spirit, to keep going, to keep motivating you, to keep giving you a deeper why and reason to move forward. And that can be your internal guidance system amplified than you've ever felt it before, that it can be stronger within you, that you can hear it even more clearly, and that you can feel more safe trusting what your soul is guiding you to do. And if you'd like all that, you can say yes. Beautiful. That's feeling so much better. So then the divine masculine and divine feminine energies, they work so well in union and harmony together. And unfortunately, a lot of people have been conditioned or seen one way or the other. And a lot of people in business, especially if they came from like corporate or more like the bro marketing side of the coaching industry, it's like hyper masculine energy, 10x it, go, 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 do, produce, make more content, do more things, go, go, go. And that can be really depleting to our system. And I get a lot of people in my world who really identify strongly with their divine feminine energy and have burnt themselves out doing the go, 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 do, hyper masculine energy way of being. So they don't trust their masculine energy in that anymore. They don't want to start making bigger moves forward because they're scared that they're going to burn out, that it'll be a negative experience again, or that they'll like build the thing and it won't be sustainable. So do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all negative programming, experiences, or harm, consciously or unconsciously, that's happened from you being out of alignment with what energy would have been more optimal to have used at the time? That you can forgive yourself for that. And they can also forgive anyone else who is an actor on your stage telling you something different, that you can forgive society, you can forgive whatever old programming that you got and whoever put it in that space in you to begin with, that you can have that piece of forgiveness through your higher power so you have a clean slate in moving forward. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, so then there's the other extreme where it's like, the feminine seems flaky and it won't actually work. And like, I just like sat and did couch potato manifesting and I didn't get $1 million and the man of my dreams and the dream house all at once from just like sitting on my couch and thinking that that's one day. Like, there's also that extreme of like being too much on this side. And I went like really hard in corporate, like one extreme to another extreme of the feminine, have played in all of them. So zero judgments for me, for sure. But if you find that you might be a little bit more, and I've been playing with just like, if I like have a bunch of orgasms while thinking about my number will just come to me and it'll be that simple. And that's all I'll ever have to do is just have orgasms in my bed and people will just come to me and knock on my door and be like, I'd love to give you $10,000 to work with you. Like, if you're a little bit on that extreme or have any judgments of people who have flowed with their feminine, do you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all junk, negative energy, distrust, or harm that's been co-created with being too much in your feminine, too out of alignment by being so much on one side over here as well? And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, so the conscious thing that I've been doing over the years, and I used to call it harmony, and now I'm more like union with the divine masculine and feminine, is that you can play with them. So if you're someone who likes to like make smoothies or soup or like cook in the kitchen, you can add a little bit of this and a little bit of that and be like, oh, actually, that made it taste a little too sweet. Maybe next time I won't have as much of that. So like for a smoothie, I can be like, whoa, that's really sweet. I'm going to add in more vegetables. Okay, that's better. Like you can just play with it. It doesn't have to be like this super serious thing that you have to make a decision for the rest of your life that you're going to be like this amount of masculine and this amount of feminine in your business. It can flow. It can be like, hey, when I'm leading a masterclass, I have the structure of my notes. I have the structure of the time that we're playing with. And I love that it's 2:22 for anyone Atlantic time right now. That we get to have the structure and the flow and the support of the masculine, and that I also get to totally invite in the feminine to be intuitive, to tune into people's energies, to actually go this order and then this order, that I can play with that frequency. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like within yourself to play with that harmony, to not have it so serious in your cells, in your DNA, around having to figure it out, having it to be this one way all the time, or these couple ways, and these are the only options, that you can always have full range and spectrum of that unique divine masculine and feminine energy for yourself, and that you can play with it in a more pleasurable way, that you can invite in more permission to use it as just information to do better and better and better, to be more and more and more aligned, and that you can allow yourself to ground into what's working for you now and allow yourself to have more wins of what's working with you in the moment, and total and complete permission to change in a second for what will be most supportive for you. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay. Because yeah, sometimes you'll be like, yep, I have my like finance accounting brain hat on, looking at my business a little bit more structured, a little bit more masculine. And then sometimes you'll be like, ooh, I'm getting to like enjoy the fuck out of a content piece that I'm creating and it feels so light and fun. Or it can be some of your pleasure practices that do help you to overflow into your business. You can play. It doesn't have to be like 90-10, like 90% masculine, 10% feminine, or 90% feminine, 10% masculine, or 60-40 or 40. Like doesn't have to like play at all with like an actual number. It can be like, oh, in this moment I feel like I'm here, in this moment I feel like I'm here, in this moment I feel like I'm here, in this moment I feel like I'm here. You can play with that range. So do you want to know what it looks like and feels like to be that level of flexible within your energetic states and with your divine masculine and feminine, so that you can be of optimal service for yourself, your human body, and the world around you? And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And thanks, Derek. Hope you have an amazing time with your clients. Sending you lots of love. So I'm going to integrate all of those beautiful changes and offer you a general healing for any and all other areas of your body, life, and business that are ready to be healed right now, and fill you up with your higher powers, unconditional love, compassion, peace, and prosperity. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And take some really deep, deep, deep cleansing breaths here. Allowing it all to integrate in with ease. Mm. Mm. And I'd love to hear in the chat or in the comments below, how's your body feeling now? How are you feeling now, especially around selling in a heart-centered way to your higher ticket clients? How's that feeling for you? Hmm. I see some typing, so I'll give it a moment. I definitely invite you to drink lots and lots of water to support your body. It's a lot more easeful to drink. Allow it to be fleshed out the old in an easeful way. Very relaxed. Can see where I have been too tight around it. Expanded seeds of possibility. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. So if you feel so complete with that, thank you so much for joining us. And if you would like to go a little deeper and you'd like to know some next steps, I'm going to share my screen for the new offering that I'm so excited about. I'll also pop it in the chat here, and I'll go back to the Facebook Live to get that. If you're watching it on the replay, it'll be the button underneath on the replay page. So I'm going to share the new 6-week program that I'm so fucking excited about. I'll share the screen so we can all see the prettiness that my new VA created for us. And it's called Aligning and Healing to Pleasurable High Ticket Sales. So can you see that? Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. So it is for the coaches, healers, and heart-centered entrepreneurs who are desiring their time and financial freedom that their heart and soul is guiding them to. And you can kind of see at the top already that there's a massive savings on right now. While we're in early bird, you get to save $889. It'll go up next week. But in 14 days, we will begin our journey. We'll start on March 29th, and we're going to deep dive into all the pieces that we talked about here, and even some of the pieces that we had in our first masterclass, if you had watched the one on the over 10K selling high ticket sales there. So we're literally going to do a 6-week journey where we can clear, release, and let go of all the stuff that's been holding you back from aligning to your high ticket clients and from actually enrolling them into your program. So if you've had some sales calls and they're not going how you want, if your close rate or your enrollment rate isn't where you want it to be, and you're like, oh, there's like something holding me back, it's really likely that there's an unconscious belief system, a story, or just an energetic vibration that's feeling off with you right now. So literally all of the places that we did in this beautiful time together, we're going to go deeper into. So we're going to go even deeper into the limiting beliefs and stories that have been holding you back. We're going to really support you and get really particular. So I'm going to find out what everyone's next level rates are so that you can get to that place, that you can say them, give you tips like, hey, like go out and practice saying the rate at a double. Like if you're going to sell your first 5K package, practice saying 10K. Say 10K all day long. 10K, 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 5K. 10K, 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 5K. And then on your sales call, when you say 5K, 5K feels like a steal of a fucking deal. You're like, oh my God, it's like so good. So lots of actual like strategic tips to get you in more easeful alignment with saying your numbers, and also co-creating those packages like we were talking about, like the optimizing the high ticket package to be that win-win for you and them, to be like, what do you want in it? So your rate's going to be this now. What do you want to co-create with that person? What do you feel so called to give them in deep service? So we'll go into that, some of the nitty-gritty pieces, which I absolutely love co-creating packages with my clients. It's like one of my superpowers to be like, actually, this feels a little bit off. And they're like, yeah, I didn't want to do that, but I feel like I had to because I saw someone else offer it that one time. It's like, actually, your ideal client might be a little repulsed by that energetic there and that piece there and not actually need it in their life and be like, oh, I don't want to do another bit of that, or don't want to spend like 2-hour calls. Someone had like 2-hour calls once, and I'm like, what if your ideal clients like only have an hour and only want to see you an hour a week or an hour every like twice a month kind of thing. And they shifted and they're like, oh my God, the person like wanted it. And it's like, see, when it's in alignment with you, it's in alignment with them. So we can get into some of the nitty gritty of the energetics to have you more aligned with those, and that you do have those healthy boundaries. So you are in service from your overflow. We're going to do more clearings of the old stuff that's been holding you back. So any and all old lenses that you have where you're like, people don't get on my sales calls, like whatever that negative voice is saying, that's going to be your self-fulfilling prophecy. Even at a grounded conscious level, your reticular activating system. And if you're in the Tony Robbins world, you know what that is. If you don't, it's literally like, we'll do a quick little thing. If you close your eyes for a second and then open it and look for like all the brown things in your room, like look at the brown, 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 looking for all the brown things, brown, brown, brown. And then you close your eyes. How many green things were you seeing when you were looking for all the brown? So sometimes people, even though they have the best intentions, they're like, there's no one buying. No one in my audience will buy this. No one, no one, no one, no one, no one, brown, 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 brown. And you don't see the green, you don't see the opportunities. So even in a conscious way, we can do the work on that as well. So you can have the results that you have been dying for, that you're so desiring so deeply, that you're longing for and so ready for. And then we're going to do some work on the pleasurable life. So this is why it won't be on Facebook, because we will do some, and it'll be pretty much PG. I can go a little bit deeper for anyone who is already in the sexuality space. We can do like some separate stuff that'll feel fun for that. To have the practices that feel like you are truly being your fullest, most embodied, lit up, abundant self, so you can magnetize in your people. So that will be some of the like feminine energetics there, some more pleasurable energetics, so that it feels really good for you to show up to your business and to launch and to have calls to action and to welcome amazing souls into your world. And that you like get so excited when you see people like apply to work with you, that you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to like read their thing. And then you get so excited for like the call, and you can do dance practices and movement practices and self-care practices that you like fucking are so well fed before your sales call, so that you're in such a great space to welcome them into your world or guide them to their sacred no, if that's where they're at that point. We can do so much work there, which is super fun. And then we'll do even more work around co-creating that union, that even better than a harmonization of your divine masculine and feminine energies, and even more deeply dive into trusting your divine inspired action steps. And I'll be with you weekly for 6 weeks in a row, 7 if you join early bird, to ensure that you have the accountability for that. So you can be like, yeah, actually, this is where my deep divine inspired action step is. And this is where I desire to be by next week. And then we can hold you accountable with that. And I can also support you getting into like the next pieces of like in our Facebook group. If you're like, oh yeah, I haven't done the thing yet. I told myself I was going to do that. I committed to it for homework and I haven't done it. And it's like 3 days later, then I can do just like quick clearings and healings and support in the Facebook group to get you having the momentum that you're desiring, so you actually do what you say you're going to do and what your soul was calling you to do as your next step, and don't let your ego or an old piece of yourself hold you back or keep you small. So we're going to do a lot more of the theta healing and clearings and healings and using Reiki energy and all the tools in my toolbox. I do not hold things back. I know that sometimes people have 6-week containers and they're like, well, this is my 6 week and I only give you this part of me. I have had that reflected back to all of my clients, people who have been private and group and private. They're like, I get the same version of you in all aspects. You get all of the tools that I have. I don't gatekeep. You get to ask your question and I totally serve you in wherever you're uniquely at, even in group format. So here's what you get in this program. So we're going to do weekly group coaching and healing calls every single Wednesday for 6 weeks. So it'll be 90 minutes where we're going to deep dive into clearing those limiting subconscious belief systems, old lenses, and stories that have been holding you back. So we're going to do lessons at the beginning of the call and healing downloads related to that area of focus for the week. And then we're also going to move into some hot seat sections to support you in aligning with wherever you're at, whatever you're struggling with, whatever challenge you're facing that week, to get you moving forward, having the momentum that will support you, so that you can have the financial freedom and the time freedom that you're desiring while you have an even bigger impact in the world. One thing that I'm really excited to add in, because sometimes I've done, especially if anyone's familiar with my Increase Your Impact and Income format, we had just done weekly calls, and then I was like, actually, some other stuff's coming up. Let's do hot seats. So now I already have these grounded into our container. So during our 6-week container, we're going to have 2 additional 60-minute group hot seat calls for you to bring whatever is up in your world. And sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to bring this thing up that's in my relationship or that's over here, or like, I also do orgasms and sex and things. It's like, I'm having this struggle over here. It affects everything, especially because like money and sex have same energy. And if you're like constricted or contracted in your personal life right now, it can be showing up over here in your business world. If there's scarcity with your money over here, it can be showing up in your business. Like, I work with the holistic thing. So you can truly bring whatever you need support on these additional hot seat calls, so that I can support you in releasing whatever's been holding you back and get you supercharged and in alignment with where you're meant to be going. Ask whatever questions you're having. Literally, it's here to support you fully. And then you also get continued support in our Facebook community. So during the program, you'll get access to an incredible community of support. I already love the one beautiful soul who like joined in pre-sale. She's just like, whatever you're doing next, we're doing. I'm like, okay, like shared like minimally what we're doing. And she's like, yeah, we're in, cool. So I'm very excited for the energy that's already in the group and that we're going to keep growing. And I have, even in my testimonials where people have shared like the groups that we create, people are friends for like years later. Like, I'm very good at bringing in, and I feel like it's kind of my reflector superpower. Like, I'm great at like calling in the right souls who are good fits for each other, who become amazing like siblings or soul sisters in their containers. And they totally like pair with each other. They do exchanges, they practice up, they like go on each other's shows, they do so many different things. So I love the humans that I call into my communities. So you get that incredible soul family of support for accountability, celebration of your wins, asking your questions to me in between, like I was mentioning before, so we can truly create the momentum that you're desiring along your journey in between all of our live calls. And we have so many live calls, so you have so much support. Plus, you get all of these bonuses. So there are going to be some pre-sale / early bird bonuses that are different than what everyone's going to get. So if you join on the last day, you'll get a lot of bonuses too. Just early bird people who are like, hell yes, right now, get some extra special things, because I tend to be hell yes. And I'm like, yep, this is my thing. So I get to receive gifts when I join mentors programs. So I love to like give that in my world as well. So if you are a hell yes before March 17th, so that's about 48 hours from now. So if you enroll before March 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, to be very specific, you can also get a 30-minute private coaching and healing session with me, which is like almost the value of the whole program, like just doing that. So if you're like a hell yes, just to get in my world for this, you can do that. There's also going to be another, so we're going to have a grand total of 3 if you're an early bird person for the 60-minute group hot seat calls. So if you get in live before March 22nd, that call will be live at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 Pacific. Otherwise, you'll get the recording of it. And then also to like jump into content immediately when you get the buy today, like you'll get immediate access to the Clearing Money Blocks 101 workshop. I literally channeled that back in 2017 when I was like all resistant from like leaving the corporate accounting world and all the things back in 2015. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it literally channeled in basically in 30 minutes. It was my most like amazing testimonials. I basically always sell this one out in person, regardless of where I was at. Like, it got people awesome results and like quick money results quickly, because it literally clears the shit that you have around money, your bills, debt, spending too much, saving too much. Like, literally it's off in sections. So you can even go into one section and be like, oh, I really want a clearing on like loans and stuff and things, and like get the clearings on those. So you get all of that if you enroll before March 24th. And then if you don't, that's fine as well. Everyone will get these bonuses. So the Overflow Your Cash Flow and Pleasure Masterclass is really great at helping you reverse engineer to be really clear on what your specific time freedom and financial freedom is and how they work really well together. So grounding it into spreadsheets that I've already done. They have some color, they're pretty like simple so that it's easy to follow. And in this masterclass, we literally went through it. So how you can price your programs and packages, so you can plan for your yearly income. And then you can reverse engineer from there to be like, okay, if I know what my yearly income is, what's my monthly? If I know what my monthly income is, what am I committing to in terms of hours for my clients? So there's 3 separate spreadsheets in here that literally I walk you through. I believe this is like over 2 hours of masterclass that walks you through how to use these. They have them there so you can like literally save the Google Drive, or I guess the Google Doc Excel version thing. I'm like, my brain's not thinking of technology right now, but it's essentially an Excel that's in a Google Doc format that you can copy and save so you don't have to start from scratch. You can literally fill in the blanks, and I have them color coded. So you can fill in what you want your prices to be, how many clients you want to have at those prices. So that it literally like spits out, this is what you'll have. Because I've been in rooms of people who just like shoot for the moon and like, I just want to be 6 figures. I just want to be multiple 6 figures. And then they sell out at the price that they were like kind of at their edge, nervous about selling here, without thinking that 3 months from now, 6 months from now, they're going to be burning out from all those hours that they've committed to, that they actually can't hire a team. They can't do a support team. They can't do anything because they're just like, I am to the fucking max of this, especially people who do like VIP days, who have like committed to a certain number of like VIP weekends. They're just like, I am burning out. Like, I want to shut my business down. And that breaks my heart so much, especially when it's preventable by just doing a little bit of reverse engineering at the get-go. So you get all of that. You can read the details. If you missed the aligning to selling your 10K packages masterclass, or if you loved it and you want to have access to it for longer, then you get access to it in here. And I also got the intuitive hit a couple days ago to add in the Increase Your Impact and Income 6-week digital program. So this is not going to be like we're doing week by week that. It was a separate program, but just feeling into the energy of some of the souls who will be joining, it'll be really supportive for you to go directly into some of these modules. So instead of, again, gatekeeping and being like, no, I'm not going to share the things, I'd rather you have all the resources that get you to your results. And I'd love to celebrate during the 6 weeks, your highest package sold, your highest month sold. We're going to spend all of April together. So like the beginning of May, like celebrating your best fucking April ever. And it's like spring and new energy and so many things. So I was like, yeah, let's add in this. So I have a whole section below on individually what these modules are. But in this program, people like sold their first 1K package, 2K package, highest sales ever, first 5K months, stuff like that, like within 6 weeks. So if you're just wanting to like jump to a module on like clearing visibility and throat chakra blocks, or jump into a module on money mindset, or jump into a module on inspired action or divine feminine masculine energy or boundaries or conscious 3D work, then you can just like individually jump to whatever modules. And also I have a special note here being like, we're not following this as the weekly content. We're having totally new content in this program. But if you want to jump into a module that resonates with you for that extra support, or if you're like having challenges with something in the Facebook group, I could be like, hey, I actually have a ton of clearings on that already. You could jump into this module. It'll be there for you if you need it. It's not something to be like, oh my God, my perfectionist, high achiever, type A self will have so many things to watch. It's not for that at all. I want it to be zero stress. I want it to be an added cherry on top if you so desire, and you don't need it if you don't want it. So I have a piece where it's like, so if you've already taken the Increase Your Impact and Income course live or digitally, please know that this one, the Aligning and Healing to Pleasurable High Ticket Sales, is totally brand new. It has definitely different content, different healings, different modules, and this can be there for anyone who wants it as support. So we have options in our pay in full investment of 888 because it's such a fun angel number and it's about like more financial abundance. So with our early bird, you get all of that, everything in the program, all the early bird and pre-sale bonuses for 888 pay in full, or like we can technically update that. That just got copied over. I love when I find little things. Or you can do, I believe it's 355 today. Or it's 355 today if you want to do 3 monthly payments. So there's that for you. And then like all masterclasses or all sales pages, it'll tell you more about me. It'll give you all the details. So you get to know the calendar of our calls. and all the client success stories. If you want to know about people selling their first 10K packages, what they've gotten from working with me. I have so many client testimonials and I couldn't decide. So I was just like, I'm going to just keep putting more on. So I love that we have lots and lots and lots. If you're like, I need to know more about Laura, I need to know more about her clients and see if I resonate with, like, am I the kind of person like her clients? And if you have any questions for me, you can also feel free to. But yeah, the full investment is $888 or 3 payments of $355. So if that's resonating with you, that'll be in the chat. It's also going to be put on the Facebook Live a little bit later. And if you're watching the replay page, it'll be in the button down below. If you want to see this page, tune into it more, and I'll likely be adding more pieces. I'm feeling like I might add some like clearings if you have like objections. I've never like really like in a big way objection handled on sales pages before, but I was also like, it could be fun to just like give people clearings for whatever objections they have going on in their life. So that is the new program. I'm so excited for it. And I thank you for listening, for feeling the call within yourself, or for being like, yeah, this is my secret now. This is actually not the best fit for me right now. So honoring you wherever you're at. And then we can move into our space for some hot seat coaching and healing. If you have anything from this call or even something that we didn't talk about on this call that you'd like support in, you can put it in the chat, or you can unmute, or we can end if everyone feels good. And you are so welcome. I love that you're going to take a look. And let me know if you have any questions. Like, I totally welcome people DMing me. If you want to even hop on a call, if you're like, I don't know, I've like tried things around sales before and I don't, like, I am here to hold space with you. And I have been for the people who did the first run of it. And we already have someone in this one who wasn't a great fit for private at the time, but was like totally a great fit for this. So I will be 100% honest, as always, that I'm in my coaching and that I'm in my sales process. If I don't think it's the best fit for you, I will let you know. I'll try to refer you out, even if I know that there's a gap that could be supported by someone else in my network. Like, I truly, truly want heart-centered light workers and leaders and coaches and healers to be their fullest express self in the world and to get their impact to the people that need it so deeply. So do we have any questions, or are we going to end and feel complete? Yeah.
Yeah.